inside a glimmer of hope that you'll finally see. Yet I remain quiet. I can't remain quiet anymore. No, I was not built to idly stand here, letting you make my decisions based upon your point of view. You never allowed me my own freedom. Well, hear me now. Show me now you're the man that I want to be with for the rest of my life. I have so much love to give you. Just open up your eyes and you'll see time after time. I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside, a glimmer of hope that you'll finally see. Yet yes, I can't remain quiet, quiet.
Okay. Way to go, Megan. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. So I should have also credited Megan's teacher before we jumped in. Megan studies with Darnell Rulak. However, this evening it will be my pleasure to coach her a little bit. So lucky me, there's lots of great things for us to talk about here. So before I jump in, Megan, I'd love to kind of hear if there's anything about this performance that you didn't feel like something you're totally satisfied with that you'd like to address.
Um, I am continuing to work on the riffs in this song and in
Okay.
every song that I want to make my riffs cleaner and more precise. So that's something I'm always working on. And just about this particular performance, um, I think at the very end of the song, when it came down from that big place, and it got truly quiet again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I think I maybe had a little bit of trouble with like the placement at the end. It felt like it was just a little bit in the back of my mouth, and I wanted it to have like a high, soft, sweet sound, but not like a unsupported sound. So
Oh,
that's
good.
my
Yeah.
own critique of my
Yeah, I'm
song.
glad you said that word
Yeah.
unsupported because I think that really the crux of the matter for both of those issues is breath support. And unfortunately, breath support is one of those things that if we, you know what, I should have them myself here. Speaker view. No. Hold on, guys. Sorry, technical moment. Cancel the spotlight. Now we should be okay. Can you guys see me? Everybody see me? I'm not hidden anymore. I hope. Okay, so Megan, breath support is obviously an important facet of singing well and comfortably. However, I think sometimes when we're really in the moment and we're trying to be interpretive and expressive, taking all of our mental energy and putting it on our core, might take us out of the moment in that way. So we need to kind of find a way to merge those two ideas. And one of the things that I come back to all the time myself when I'm worried about that in my own singing is making things a little bit more speech-like in the way that we go through these patterns. So I wonder, have you practiced this song as a monologue?
Well, parts of it definitely. Like
Okay.
the very first part, like the first verse of the song. Yeah, I originally had to stop telling myself to sing it and just like how would I say it like to somebody. So I have focused on certain pieces of it that way.
Good, good, good. So can you highlight a phrase? Where's one spot that you feel like you're not having the support you need or the riff isn't as clear as you want it to be?
Um, Really the end of the song that so
Like from the key
the
change on, is that the end or just like the very
no,
last
no,
couple
no, no, no,
bars?
no, 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 not the key change. Like
Okay.
when it comes back to the truly quiet part, the very end, like the last few bars of the song. There's the riff. There's
Okay, can we back up maybe a phrase or two right before that?
Okay, yeah, yeah. Um, um, Time after time, I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside. A glimmer of hope that you'll finally see. Yes, I. Yes, I.
Okay, okay, good. So before you get to that riff, I think you're getting yourself into a pattern that's sort of like start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, and I think that's carrying into the riff. That's why I want to back up a little bit before and talk about the text there. So would you say the words for me just before that, where you started singing?
Um, Time after time. Oh, just say it. Say it.
Yeah,
Say the words. Okay.
yeah.
Time after time, I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside.
Okay, now interestingly, as you spoke that, you put the push on where beat one fell for each of those words, right? Do you see that? So try to say it again without thinking of where it falls in the music.
Okay. Time after time, I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside.
Okay, was tell a beat one word?
Okay, okay, okay. Time after time, I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside.
To tell you or to tell you? I mean, we have dramatic choices we can make there. I'm just sort of trying to get you to explore ways to switch it up within the music. Again, because if you do, you're going to get yourself out of this in and out sort of feeling in your body. And I think that if you can do that, you'll be able to settle into yourself a little bit more and ultimately bring that support in a little bit more. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, could you try singing that again and avoid leaning on beat one, whatever you do? Try to emphasize
Okay.
a different word.
Okay. Time after time, I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside. A glimmer of hope that you'll finally see.
Okay, one more time. Let's try that again now that you've sort of felt it out.
Okay. Time after time, I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside. A glimmer of hope that you'll finally see. Yes, I. Yes,
Okay, that's all right. Let's pause there. Let's cut there. So, remind me, well, tell me what your own interpretation is. When we're repeating yes, I, twice, why is she repeating herself in your interpretation?
um, may, maybe it's like kind of like it's sort of finally confronting this sort of hard conversation that you're having with somebody, and it's um, kind of psyching yourself up to say the words, because
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
last line of the song is I can't remain quiet anymore, or it
Right,
doesn't
right,
not
right.
anymore. That's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so you said psyching yourself up. So I'm going to argue that this is as much a conversation with yourself as it is with this other person. So I'd like you this time to deliver the yes, I to him, and then the second one kind of to yourself, like you're building your courage. And see what that does for you. I think coming back into yourself is going to, again, help you find that breath support in a more organic kind of way.
Okay. So just from the same place where
Wherever
we
you're
started.
comfortable picking up. Yeah, if you don't want to go back that far, that's okay.
Okay. I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside. A glimmer of hope that you'll finally see. Yes, I. Yes, I. I can't remain
Okay.
quiet.
Good, 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 good. Nice, Megan. So there are three I's. The first one we said to him. The second one we want to make introspective. That second one we want to also make sure that you stop caring if you're going to sing a wrong note. Do you know what I mean? You're very careful there. And I think that that's what we're hearing more than your introspective sense of self. Okay. And then the third one, I was like, you've got the wind back in your sails. You're convinced, you know? And I think if you allow yourself mentally and emotionally to do those three things, then this is going to flow in a different way and you'll experience it in a different way physically. So let's do it one more time and see if you can take your brain out of the equation and just put a little more heart into it. Because the technique is there. You know what to do physically. It's just a matter of getting out of your own way to let it happen.
A glimmer of hope that you'll finally see. Yes, yes, I can't remain quiet, quiet.
Good, good. Did it feel better?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
kind
it
of like
definitely sounded better.
the other
Good.
person, myself, and then convinced. Those three ideas. That was
Yeah,
kind
nice, nice, nice. So sometimes that's just another way where we can bring a more humanity to the piece that we're delivering and also get back in touch with ourselves. You know, this shouldn't feel like doing a math problem, like where are these notes going, especially on a beautiful, beautiful, expressive moment like that, right? So let's see if we can add one more element of clarity there, because I'm not totally sold on the vowel you're going with for that very top one, the one where you're, you know, like I said, the wind's back in your sails. So what are you thinking there? Can you tell me if you have an idea of what that vowel should be?
of. Oh, I thought you meant what I was thinking in terms of the story.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, I'm gonna actually be technical this time.
I'm thinking technical. I'm thinking like keep it in the front, open like the kind of the back area, like
Okay.
kind of that mouth shape that I don't
Okay,
know.
so again, let's make it a little bit more human, right? So yes, all of those things, but you don't have time to be thinking that in the moment, you know? We do those things in warm-ups because so that it becomes your habit. In the song, it's kind of time to like get past that almost and rely that those on the fact that those habits are in place. So what are you thinking of vowel though? Like what are you singing there?
Um, like an ah.
Like an ah. Okay. Okay. So here's the trap, right? So ah is our backmost vowel. So you can't really think ah so much there. You almost want to go into like an almost. You know what I mean? Like an you're moving it forward. So I want you this time to think go for an ah and see what happens. I think if you just think ah, even though you're saying ah, it'll probably even out. Let's see what
Okay.
happens.
Ah. Okay. Um.
Does
Yeah.
that feel okay?
That brings it more to the front, I think.
Yeah, brings it more to the front. Now I want you to relax your smile muscles. Okay? So don't go into this cheekbone thing that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Is that conscious or in the back of your
Um.
mind?
That was not conscious.
Okay, okay. So relax your face. Think a little bit more and let's try it. Yeah, yeah. See how that rounded it out a little bit more? Because you weren't
Yeah.
placing it in the front. You modified your vowel slightly to bring it more to the front, but you didn't do something to it. Do you know what I mean?
That makes
That makes
sense.
sense? Okay, good. Let's try that cut again to the end and see if we can put all of that together.
Okay. Um. You don't mean with the backing track, right?
No, you don't. You can do it a cappella if you're comfortable singing a cappella. Sorry to put you on the spot.
It's fine. Time after time, time after time, I find that I'm struggling to tell you what's burning inside. A glimmer of hope that you'll finally see. Yes, yes, I can't remain quiet, quiet.
Okay, good. Let's do those quiets one more time. I think I'm trying to move fast. I think we're almost out of time for you. But let's see if we can release those vowels at the end of quiet, okay? Especially if this is about you finding your place, right? This has to be you sinking into your sense of self and feeling conviction and firmness, right? So you can translate the dramatic impetus of this into your sense of support. Okay, so sing that for me, and just make sure that you don't the KW feeling at the beginning makes it hard, really easy for your jaw to kind of want to engage on the So make sure it's not here. See if that can be quiet, quiet. Could you say that for me with a little loft through it?
Quiet.
Okay, good. Even less KW at the beginning. One more time.
Quiet.
Yeah, yeah. So when you sing it, feel that nice breathy, kind of floaty mouth feeling for that okay? Try that part bit for me.
Okay. I can't remain quiet. Quiet.
Okay, are you thinking forward for that vowel too?
I think yeah.
Could you
I'm not sure
stop
if I
and just let it be an I think you're doing a little bit of overkill there.
like the cheekbone thing you mentioned.
Well, say no, say for me again. I'm not seeing externally your smile muscles engaging as much as with the other one, but say for me again, quiet.
Quiet. Quiet.
Yeah. So where does that vowel live in your mouth?
Um, kind of in the front. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of naturally in the front. So by thinking forward, you're kind of overdoing it. Do you know what I'm saying? So let that be just kind of a floaty marshmallow on your tongue. That big open space. Okay? Sing it for me one more time, and then we'll have to move on to the next person.
Quiet. Quiet.
Yeah, yeah. Do you feel how that rounds it out a little bit?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Good, good. Nice work, Megan. Thank you for sharing this with us tonight. So,
Thank you.
one more round of applause for Megan, everybody. All of our jazz fingers there. Okay, nice. Let's move on. So next, I am very pleased to be presenting one of my own students. So Miss Crystal Mechanic will be coaching with Mr. Alan Thompson this evening. So Crystal, if you wouldn't mind introducing your piece and singing it in full, then we'll bring Alan in. So 1 second while I spotlight you. There we go.
Okay. Hi, my name is Crystal, and I'll be singing Misty. That's it. Look at me, I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree, and I feel like I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand, I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello, that music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near. And you see that you're leading me on, and it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm following you. My own. As I wander through this wonderland alone, Never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove. I'm misty and too much in love. Too misty and too much in love. I can't see. Hi. Oh. I can't see anybody. Oops.
Hold on, Crystal. We lost Alan. Where'd Alan go?
I'm here. Am I
Oh, there he
here?
is.
There
Okay,
I am.
great.
Hi, Crystal. First of all, thank you for singing today. I thought that was a super duper wonderful performance, and I was like smitten the whole time.
Oh, thank you.
The first thing I want to ask you, just how did you feel about how you sang today? Not even just like good or bad or anything like that, but I want to get what your main thought was about your entire performance.
I was trying to not think that technical. I was trying to feel it a little bit more.
Good.
I think when I get nervous, I kind of get loud and kind of forget some of
It
the
just
stuff.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
It's sort of like too loud, and I'm like, oh well, it's over now.
Yeah,
You might as
no.
well just go for it. So that's what I was saying.
I feel that on a personal level. So that's great. But I feel like that was never an issue for you the whole time. I felt like you really had a good interplay with your dynamics. And as far as painting the text with all that kind of stuff, I really, really enjoyed it. And that's actually the first thing that I was saying. I really enjoyed watching your face because I felt like every sort of facial expression you were making was very organic, and it kind of went with the mood of the music. Yeah.
Okay.
The first thing I want to say is just a super, super small, subtle thing. At the very, very beginning, what's the first thing you say?
Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me.
Yeah. And so what I want you to think for me is sort of like the whole thing is very sultry, jazzy, kind of in that vein, right? So when you start, I really want you to think, look at me, like you're leaning into it. You know what I mean? Just saying, look at me. So you're really, really drawing a sense that we're like, okay, we're looking. What are we going to do now? You know what I mean? Yeah. So try that for me again. Just the opening. Take your time. I know we were doing it with a track. Now we don't have one. I want you to sing it a cappella for me, and I want you to pull me in with that look at me. Yeah?
Okay. I'm going to try. Let me try.
You will. I know you will.
Okay. Look at me. So
That feels it. Yeah. I'm like ready to go. Yeah. Go for me one more time, and just for the sake of being ridiculous, stretch it out even longer so you really, really get that feeling in there. Yeah.
Okay. Look at me.
Yeah. I even see you coming over here. Yeah, so you're gonna sing the whole song now. You ready? Yeah. That's the one thing I think that's with one thing that we can find a little bit of flexibility with is we know more or less the track is gonna be straight, so we can find maybe a little bit of area of give and take to where you can find maybe just a little bit more time to stretch those things, just so that we're giving a little bit of extra. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Awesome. That was beautiful. Let me see. Walk My Way. You say walk my way somewhere in the middle. I'm sorry. I'm like.
Yeah.
So you say walk my way somewhere in the middle. I feel like there's a gigantic mood shift there for me personally, as far as when I was listening to it the first time. I've never heard this piece before, by the way. I feel like when you say walk my way, I feel like that should shift. And maybe you want to see a shift like in your posture or maybe in the color of your voice or something like that. In terms of, I don't want to go back and put that in context. So it's like it's muddied in there, but just kind of food for thought as you're working through this piece with your teacher. Yeah. Great. This is my big one that I wanted to look at with us, is when you have just what I want. I feel like
which one?
There's one that's something just what I want. It's like pretty high up there.
And it's just what I want.
There we go. Right when we got to that note, I feel like for me, you kind of like pulled back on the, like you kind of like shifted down a little bit before you got there. And I feel like it broke your momentum just a little bit.
Okay.
And so what I want us to do is as you're using that, I want you to use that J to propel you forward. Because I feel like you're kind of coming off the J just with little thoughts with like, instead of, and it's just, really use it to kind of shoot your sound forward and also emphasize that part of the phrase.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know where's a good spot. Can we start like a little bit before that and then kind of build up?
I know where you're going. Okay. All right. Can't you see that you're leading me on? And it's just what I want you to do.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to do this a lot. Sorry. I really, really like the way that you grew out of a J, but I really, really, really want more of the J. I think you're like kind of almost afraid of that J sound. It's like almost, what is it in phonetics? I think it's like a DV type sound. So it's
okay.
And it's just, and really let that take you forward. Like remember, you're pulling this in, same thing.
Okay.
Do that for me again.
Okay. Can't you see that you're leading me on? And it's just what I want you to do.
That was so exciting. I need you to do it again. That was so exciting. I need you to do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
Oh, no. I don't know if I can do it again, but okay.
You have to. You have to. I'm sorry. You're on the spot. Your teacher's here. You have to. You have to.
Okay. And you see that you're leading me on, and it's just what I want you to do.
There you go. No, it's okay. And that's one thing I really want to compliment you on that I find a lot of people, especially like my students, like whenever we're singing, people kind of want to just come back this way because they're like, I'm working really hard. And you really have this really good forward sense of energy. And I think that's really awesome. That really helps you in a lot of your phrases.
Good.
How am I doing on time? Am I doing okay? Do I have a little bit more time, Catherine? No, maybe?
Yes, we can do like 3 more minutes.
Okay, cool. There's a section in there, Crystal, where you have ahs, and they're like maybe like one sort of like one thing I have a student. She's working on a similar piece, and it's very like disjunct. It's like burp, 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 burp.
Yeah.
And the whole goal that we want to work towards is making sure that everything is sort of as fluid as possible.
Yeah.
So one thing I'd like for us to do is don't think of them so much as like, I'm going to sing these notes, right? I want you to think of this through straight line and getting everything as close to that line as possible, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So start for me in that part, because you know where it is, I don't. Get a nice good breath, and I want you to try it for me on a hum. Yeah, so you're just gonna go, and think of not going up and down, but really just cruising on through, like we're going on a road trip. Yeah?
Okay, got you. Okay. Something like that.
No. But I appreciate the effort. Yeah. Take like I said, we're not doing it with a track, so you can take your time. So feel so just going. Slow and steady wins the race. Huh?
Okay.
Again.
All right. I'm trying not to think now.
A little bit. Yeah. No, it's hard, especially when you practice it that way, because I can tell you've practiced the goodness out of this piece. So that's good. That's great. Yeah. So as you're working through it, I really just kind of would like for you to focus more on that. Just for funsies, will you try it for me on the vowel? I think it's
Yeah. It's
Okay. Try it for me.
Okay.
That's okay. Breathe. It's okay. Try again.
Okay.
It's okay. Ish. That's something definitely I think that you can play with as you're working in the studio. And really, like I said, just don't think about this, think about this, because we're going somewhere, right? We're going to get to the destination eventually, right?
Yes.
Let's see, so that was the last one. Where you did it super great, you have the word to at the end. You go to.
Oh, yeah, like too much. Yeah.
To, and you go to, and it's like, it drops down very, very, very low. I thought that was awesome. It was like, to. So that one really, like you came down, like landing on a pillow, and then you took off, and then you went to your next thing. So maybe kind of use that as a reference point for you, and then just to kind of work through those things.
Okay.
But overall, I think it was a beautiful job. I was enthralled. The main thing I'll tell you is just pull people they're going to watch you. Yeah? All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so
It was a
much.
beautiful job, Crystal. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you both. Thank you both. That was great. Okay, we're ready to shift gears into some piano work now. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next participant, Miss Michelle Coleman. So let me find you, Michelle, so we can spotlight you. 1 second. Here she is. Okay. And you're on.
Okay.
So please introduce your piece, Michelle.
Sure. This is a Russian folk song.
And Michelle will be taught by Miss Natalia Bogdanova. Natalia, am I saying it wrong?
Bogdano, you're right.
Bogdanova, okay.
I know, it always says room C. I'm changing Natalia and it's always, I come back, it's always room C. But why not? Thank you, Michelle, for joining us. And I know you've been in Cardon Studio not so long, and it's nice to start to perform and, to show to other people what you're already accomplished. I think it's, very important. I know some students, they're afraid, like, before they start playing something complicated, but I think it's good to get used to, playing for others from, like, wherever you're at, right? So, okay, I'm gonna steal the first line from previous speakers. What's your own impression and maybe your own comments about your performance?
Yeah, I think I rushed it a little bit in the half notes. I think I rushed it just a tad, and also in the dotted note as well. I think maybe I didn't pause as long as I don't know, maybe
I disagree with you. I think you were pretty good with rhythm.
Oh, okay.
It was only one place when you actually didn't rush, but you actually slowed down. I have the same book, so I can. So it's right in the beginning. So the after the first measure, right? You kind of pausing before proceeding to the next measure. So maybe we'll just play first two measures, and I want you not to stop.
I got you. Yeah.
Because rhythm.
Yeah, I was pausing after the.
Yeah. And that's repeats 3 times. So this is the only place written-wise, like.
Okay.
But everything else and your half-dotted note was good.
Okay.
I was paying attention.
And then I think also I wasn't as soft as I wanted to be on the.
Well, it's a Russian song. You can be a little bit tough. It's fine.
Yeah, I wanted to be a little bit.
No, actually here, do you see there is a special sign here, right? It's called accent mark. So actually it's good to play it with extra, emphasis. So like tougher.
Yeah.
So you did it right.
On measure, I was talking about on measure 10.
Yeah. Okay.
10, I didn't feel that I was as soft as I wanted to be there, but
yeah. So here is it says piano. Definitely, you can make it like not as loud as that main.
Yeah.
Right? But here actually we're touching another thing. It's about a little bit. I'm going to talk about a little bit technique, right?
Yeah.
So. So what you're talking about dynamic, right? So you want to play something hard, something soft, something, to show variation, right? We don't want to play everything like playing in the same manner, right? So here, that's come our like our physique, right? The way we play.
Yeah.
See, you are like really do a good job, and like pressing notes. We actually the main element of our hand, right? It's not. I mean, I know fingers are touching the keyboard, right?
Right.
It's wrist.
Yeah.
And how we use it, this is create the oldest like dynamic variation that you want to produce. If you don't use your wrist, it's really hard actually. Like you actually have to put some like force.
Okay. Okay.
When we play, we know it's not actually physical. Like we play with gravity, right? So we
Right. Playing with a softer touch, kind of.
and it's not about the touch. So I'm focusing especially on the wrist. So maybe let's try even in beginning, right? So we have that accent, beginning. So instead of just pressing the notes, I'm showing you, right? I want you to actually just drop your wrist down. Note, yeah. So make sure it's relaxed before you start. Like just raise it off the keyboard. Just shake it. Make sure it's like very relaxed. Shoulders down. You're. This playing music. It's fun. It's actually a relaxing activity, right? It's not a goal oriented. Treat it like So make sure it's relaxed, and then you just drop. Yeah. So let's try this. A little bit more. So start from hanging, and then you just drop it. With all the weight of your arm, that start in the shoulder. It's kind of a sensational thing. Okay, in the air, can you do it like this for me? Yeah, see? You do exactly what I can do. Yeah, so here, first you can barely touch the keys, and then just drop it, right? Just drop it. And wrist. Okay, let's try other way. Have those two notes, just the right hand. Let's do only right hand. Have the C and E, right?
Yeah.
Keep it there, right? Don't take fingers away. And your fingers are relaxed, right? You like don't control them, right? And just while you're touching these keys, try to move your wrist up and down. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Now doing absolutely same thing, and now you actually start pressing. Just try it. Yeah. Very good. So if you want to create louder sound, you actually have a bigger distance, like bigger amplitude, right? Like you want to like drop it. So we are dropping this all over. Yes.
Okay.
And whenever you have a piano, you also like drop in, but not as as big distance. It's like a physics, right? Like if you throw something from higher distance, it's gonna hit harder, right?
Right.
So I think I can ask you to play this piece one more time and mind the wrist work, right?
Okay.
So don't rush.
Yeah.
And just you can play half of the piece. You don't have to play the whole.
Okay.
But yeah. Focus on your wrist. Is it flexible? We call it breathing wrist, right? It's like when we breathe, wrist also breathing. So just like how you did before, you did a very good job. Like feel it. Good. Much better. Okay, good job, good job. Yes.
Okay.
See how important to also be relaxed yourself. You know, when you relax, then it's affecting your whole body and arms.
Right.
You really need to be relaxed when we play.
Right.
This is not, we're not at a gym, right? We're not, we're actually, you know,
Yeah.
it's closer to like petting a cat, right? Rather than like lifting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to think it this way and just enjoy the beautiful sounds you create.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah, thanks.
Oh, very nice, both of you. Thank you. So well done, Michelle. Her debut, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, very good. That brings us next to Ben Tynecuff. Ben, would you please introduce your piece for us?
Hello, I'll be singing I'm Alive from Next to Normal.
Oh no, what'd you say?
Whoops, everybody please mute you themselves. Who's on? There we go, okay.
Here we go. I am what you want me to be, and I'm your worst fear, you'll find it in me. Come closer, come closer. I am more than memory, I am what might be, I am mystery, you know me. So show me when I appear, it's not so clear if I'm a simple spirit or I'm flesh and blood. But I'm alive, I am so alive, and I feed on the fear that's behind your eyes. And I need you to need me, it's no surprise. I'm alive, so alive. I'm alive. I am flame and I am fire. I am destruction, decay, and desire. I'll hurt you. I'll heal you. I'm your wish, your dream come true, and I'm your darkest nightmare too. I've shown you. I own you, and though you made me, you can't change me. I'm the perfect stranger who knows you too well. But I'm alive, I am so alive, and I'll tell you the truth if you let me try. I'm alive, you're alive, and I'll show you why. I'm alive, so alive. I'm alive, I'm right behind you. You say forget, but I'll remind you. You can try to hide, but you know that I'll find you. 'Cause if you won't grieve me, you won't leave me behind. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No, 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 I'm alive, I am so alive. If you climb on my back, then we both can fly. You're alive, I'm alive, and I'll show you why. I'm alive, so alive. I'm alive, yeah. I'm alive, I'm alive, so alive. I'm alive.
Woo! Oh, that was fun!
Thank you.
Awesome, Ben. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Let me make sure that you can see me. Can you see me? Okay.
Yes.
First of all, the first thing I want to say was I saw you come to life before you even started singing, and thank you for that. Too many of us forget to be in character before it's our turn to sing. So I love that you started there. Let me ask you, I want to make sure we address anything that you're worrying about. Is there anything in here that isn't feeling the way you want it to that you want to make sure we talk about?
No, I mean, I think I don't know, for me, it's the higher parts of the song that when I first started learning the song, this was like a major reach piece for me.
Okay.
So when I started the studio, I really had a very limited range. So I feel like I feel a little bit more comfortable in the higher notes at
Oh
this
yeah.
point.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
that was
They
kind of
shine.
my focus.
Yeah, no, this does not sound like a reach for you anymore. That is for sure. Okay, so
Thank
you're
you.
putting in the work. That's clear. Let's see. Some of the things that I jotted down as I was listening to you then were. Oh, let's see. What was the phrase? Oh, first of all, the L's. You're handling most of them like a champ. Obviously, L is a difficult consonant for us to sing, right? A lot of tongue movement there. I wanted to see if maybe you could sing this again from the beginning and think about rolling through them a little bit more instead of
Okay.
clicking each of those L's in place.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Just to sort of keep things a little looser and a little more, a little less, rigid.
Tight.
Okay?
Yeah.
So one more time from the beginning, if you would, and I'll stop you this time.
All right, perfect. I am what you want me to be, and I'm your worst fear. You'll find it in me. Come closer, come closer. I am more than memory. I am what might be. I am mystery. You know me.
You know, Ben, I'm gonna cut you off before you even get to the L. Sorry.
Oops, sorry.
I don't want to lose what I was gonna say. So, let's see. You're repeating a couple of phrases in that opening segment, right? And I
Yes.
think you think maybe you've heard this before. This is not like unique to me saying this or anything, but when we repeat phrases, there's always a dramatic purpose for repeating
Right.
them, right? So we need to interpret them differently the first time we say them versus the second time. Okay. So is there something in your mind in terms of your character? You seem to have done a lot of character work already. Is there something in mind about why you're maybe stating that twice?
Are you talking about come closer, come closer?
And then there was another
Yeah.
one in there too, right?
There's you know me, so show me.
Oh, okay. So just come closer. Why
Yeah.
are you? Who are you needling at?
Oh, it's like the false sense of security.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Good.
Yeah.
So should it be when you deliver that? How do you want it to be different the second time?
I think it's like more urgent the second time.
Okay. So maybe hold back a little bit the first time so you can dig in deeper and really make your point the second time. Okay.
Okay.
And then also there was a word where I should have jotted it down, but there was a word where it had two pitches, and I felt like you were placing one and then the other. I think in general, the biggest thing I'd love to see you bring to this piece would be to kind of smear through your phrases a little bit more. I think there are ways you can find intensity that I know is probably what you're going for, right? Without making everything step by step by step. So this time, could you start it again and be a little bit sloppier with the way you're phrasing things? Let's see what
Sure.
happens.
Okay. I am what you want me to be, and I'm your worst fear. You'll find it in me. Come closer, come closer. I am more than memory. I am what might be. I am mystery. You know me. So show me when I appear. It's not so clear if I'm a simple spirit or I'm flesh and blood.
Okay, good. Let's take that phrase again.
I ran right out of breath there.
That's okay. That's okay. Would you sing it for me again, a cappella? So when I appear.
Yes. Do you want to do when I appear?
Mm-hmm.
When I appear, it's not so clear if I'm a simple spirit or I'm flesh and blood.
Okay, so you took one breath in that phrase. Is that where you
Yep.
intended to breathe?
Yes.
Okay, good. Can we, in
Yep.
that case, can we feel when I appear, it's sing through until that breath and then restart, but make sure that you stay, that energy stays constant until your next breath. We don't want to feel you in and out between breaths.
Got it. Okay. When I appear, it's not so clear if I'm a simple spirit or I'm flesh and blood.
Okay, I love the second half of that from Simple Spirit onwards. Like, perfect, it's flowing, it's gorgeous. From the beginning, when I appear, I'm getting it kind of like that, and I wonder if it can be when I appear. Can we grow through it so that it stays a little more connected?
Sure. I see. When I appear, it's not so clear if I'm a simple spirit or I'm flesh
Good.
and
Good.
blood.
Would you speak that sentence for me? Just the first part before your breath. When I appear, it's not so clear.
When I appear, it's not so clear.
Okay, could you say that dramatically this time?
When I appear, it's not so clear.
Okay, good. Did you notice anything about the mouth feel of that was different than the way you're singing it?
I'm gonna be honest, no.
Okay, that's okay. Say it one more time, and I want you to memorize the mouth feel of the way you're shaping those words, how they're tripping off your tongue one into the next. And after you remember what that feels like, I want you to sing it again.
When I appear, it's not so clear.
Okay, now sing it.
When I appear, it's not so clear if I'm a simple.
Good.
Yeah.
How did that change for you?
It felt a little bit easier.
Yeah, it sounded a
move
lot
between.
more natural too. We got like a broader range or sense of your full sound, you know? So I'd like you to pick up there again, see if you can keep that really talky mouth feel going on, and let's see what else we uncover. So same spot, and you'll keep going this time.
Do you want it a cappella or do you want it with?
I think a cappella is probably easier than trying to fuss with the
Okay.
if you're comfortable singing a cappella.
I can try. Let's see.
I think you'll be fine.
When I appear.
So hold on. You went back to your habit. Say it again for me. When I appear, it's not so clear.
When I appear, it's not so clear.
Or not so clear. Opposite. Okay.
When I appear, it's not so clear if I'm a simple spirit or I'm flesh and blood. But I'm alive, I'm so alive, and I feed on the fear that's behind your eyes. And I need you to need me, it's no surprise. I'm alive, so alive.
Okay, good. Let's stop there too. So first of all, thanks for taking that note on the L's too. Those were really mushy L's in a good way. I think that was very effective. Okay.
Awesome.
I'm alive. Can we let that sort of feed into the second note instead of stepping into the second note?
Sure.
Just thing right there.
I'm alive. So
Okay, so you
alive.
feel that little step that's occurring. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
There's a little bit of
Yes,
tongue
okay.
tension there or something that you're placing those notes. So one more time, think of breathing across them. So you're going to make sure that exhale stays consistent even as you're changing pitch.
I'm alive, so alive.
Okay, good. That's the feel we want. Now this time, can you put the drama back in it?
Yeah. I'm alive, so alive.
Okay,
I'm
good.
alive.
Good. I think that's a little bit sloppy for your finished product, but I think you might want to practice it that way and see what you can discover, because I think that it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking that intensity only means volume. And I think that you can find enough focus through your sound that way that you might be able to get a little bit more, power in fullness instead of just loud. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yep.
Just an idea to play with for future. So let's maybe cut to the middle section. So it was though you made me, something like that.
Let's see. And though you made me, you can change me. That part.
Yeah, so the same thing is going to apply here. We don't though you made, though you made me, okay?
Though you made me, you can change me. I'm the perfect stranger. Yeah.
Good. That was the idea though. And then did you feel how I'm the perfect stranger? It kind of popped because you had set that up. Good.
Yes. Do you want me to go from?
Yeah, try it again and keep going this time.
Okay.
If you can.
Though you made me, you can change me. I'm the perfect stranger who knows you too well. But I'm alive, I'm so alive, and I feed on the fear that's behind your eyes. You're alive, I'm alive, and I'll show you why. I'm alive, so alive. I'm alive, I'm right behind you. That's an
Okay,
interesting acapella.
let's cut to that little falsetto whoa bit. Can you sing that for me again? Is there anything that you're yeah, just sing it again. Let's see.
The part that you won't leave me behind. Ooh, oh.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah. That one's tricky.
Yes, I know. That's okay.
It's hard. What I struggle with that is like getting enough breath power from the G to then flipping into falsetto and then bringing it back down.
Yeah, it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So it's, I mean, yeah. But I think there are a couple of things we can do to, again, bring you back to your body and make you feel like yourself when you're doing it instead of like, performing some trick. So would you just give me can you go into your falsetto with a siren-y sound? So give me a whoa!
Whoa!
Okay, this time I want you to try to stay in your body. So we saw you do some kind of like contorting there with your neck and shoulders to get up there. One more time.
Whoa!
Okay, this time can you go focus on the ooh part of the make it a more of an ooh. Whoa!
Whoa!
Okay, good. What do you notice about that when you went into the ooh place?
It's more towards like the back. I felt like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So ooh should be more forward in your mouth than oh, and that's the way I heard you say it. But however you experience it, there's no wrong answer there. We're all shaped differently. So whatever that feels like for you, grab onto it. I want you to try that one more time and make it sound more like whoa, but I want you to think that ooh feeling. So whoa!
Whoa!
Okay, try not to fall back into your chest voice at the end.
Okay.
Can you stay in your...
Yeah. Whoa! Like that.
Okay, good. Yeah. So all we're playing around with here is bringing a little more focus to your sound, I tend to avoid saying forward specifically because then we get into the trap of maybe placing it into your nose too much, but basically a little more forward, a little rounder, a little more air pressure towards the front of your mouth is really, I think, the key. So you sing that tricky bit for me where you go into that falsetto, and I want you to see what you feel inside your mouth. Where is the air hitting you? Ideally, right behind those two front teeth.
Do you want me to go up to the G and then go into falsetto?
Sing it how you usually sing it, but with this sort of perspective.
Okay.
So I don't know I don't have the sheet music in front of me, but
yeah. Sorry. So I'll do, 'cause if you won't grieve me, you won't leave me behind. Whoa.
Okay. Is my piano on? Let's see. Hind is the G. That's the one you're looking for?
Yeah.
G. Okay, so you're actually singing G sharp. So you can chill out a little bit. That's what we just learned. And I want you to try that one more time. And this time, before you go to the whoa, take a really good breath like you mean it, okay? So I think when we're going into head voice, sometimes it's helpful to visualize that breath is coming in through the small of your back and going out through your belly button, okay? We wanted all that energy to stay nice and low, even though that vibration might live up here, kind of mustaching up. Okay?
'Cause if you won't grieve me, you won't leave me behind. Whoa, whoa.
Good. Just give me the whoa one more time and think that ooh feeling. See if you can blow that air right between your two front teeth.
Whoa.
Say for me, whoa.
Whoa.
Okay, with less of a hopscotch to get to that top note. Whoa!
Whoa!
Good. Where's that vibration?
More towards like the mask area.
Okay, cool. However that felt for you, shoot for that sensation when you go, whoa!
Whoa! Ugh.
Okay, you did too much here.
I felt that, yeah.
Don't place it, just feel it.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, one more time. Say for me, whoa!
Whoa!
Okay, do you see all the extra things you're adding? I don't know if you can see your reflection here on Zoom right now, but there's a little chin tuck that's certainly not going to help you, okay? And maybe a little bit of rising through your torso too. So see if you can just stay in yourself. Whoa!
Whoa!
I want you to practice that in a mirror, okay? So watch out for this forcing down that you're doing and see if you can just look like yourself. Whoa! And not over animate it. One more time.
Whoa!
Okay, okay. I think that's going to be key for you to get that breath feeling in place so that you know where to get that falsetto placement so that it's not a clenched, held feeling that you maybe worry about. Because remember, if you're performing and you're worried about a moment, we're all going to know. Okay, so this is for you to be comfortable. That is first and foremost. Okay, I think that is unfortunately all the time we have, but really nice work. Again, this was a
Thank
lot
you.
of fun, this song. I really love it for you.
Thank
Good pick.
you.
Good pick. Okay, thank you, Ben. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay, so up next, we are moving into, back to piano. So this is Miss Fani. I have no idea how to say her last name, and she'll be coaching with Alan Thompson. So Fani, 1 second while I spotlight you.
Sorry, let me fix the camera.
Oh, yep, your head's cut off just.
I know, I think I tried to.
Oh, I see.
That's why. Maybe
We'll use our imaginations.
Cardon.
And she's got her own stage manager, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Fani, what will you be playing for us this evening while you get settled there?
Okay, this is much better. This is my usual piano setup for obvious reasons. This is Fiorelisa. I think everybody knows the famous piece. Hopefully it won't be as boring. Sorry. I think I picked it up because I think everybody loves Fiorelisa, and actually there's a lot of hand movements in it that I really enjoy. And we've been working on it with Natalia, who's my teacher. So hopefully, let's see how you like it.
Yay! Finally, that was so good. I know you remember me from months and months. Like, what? No, absolutely not. I don't know if you remember playing morning like 4 months ago, 5 months ago. Do you realize how far apart these pieces are from playing morning in the book and playing this? Like, really, 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 we've been putting some work, and I really think you should like appreciate that about yourself. Yeah. So first thing I'm going to ask you is, how do you feel about how you did? And you're not allowed to say anything negative. That's your restriction.
So I'm very disappointed. I messed up on the second part. Honestly, like
being disappointed is negative. You have to say something positive about yourself. I'm making you do that. Say something positive.
Yeah, like social anxiety is a big problem for mine. Well, what I do feel like I did better than I thought I would. At that time when I was doing the performance, it was Musette and back, and I think I was very stiff. And today I think I didn't actually completely zone out. So I think I was able to use a little bit of hand technique and not as freeze as much.
Yeah. Okay. I will definitely take that. I will definitely take that as something positive that we can really move forward on, is that you were definitely relaxed. I felt like even in the sections where you kind of had a little bit of a challenge, you weren't necessarily locked up. Yeah. So that's the first thing I want to say is that I know it's a little bit more difficult on piano, but if you're going to make a mistake, make it on purpose, because we'll forgive you. Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, and I'm serious, 9 times out of 10, people won't even know what you're doing. If you just be like, this is a choice that I'm making, and then keep going, no one's going to know. And if they do, they're going to be like, good job, because you kept on going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, first thing for me is super duper simple. What I want us to concentrate a little bit more on, especially from the opening, is getting just a little bit more fluidity from line to line. Yeah? So you have boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's all this sweeping arpeggiations and stuff like that. So instead of thinking note, 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 I want you to think, where are you going, right? We're going A, E, A, A, C, A, E. We're going all the way to the top of that arpeggio. Yeah? Yeah. So start with me from the beginning and think more about the sweeping line as opposed to playing each note by itself. Better. Stop. Do it for me again. I want you to exaggerate that 10 times even more. Yeah? That was really good. Do it again. Good. Right there, right there. Stop right there. Good. Does that feel different?
Yeah.
Yeah. So think more, because there's a point when we start after, I know especially with practicing piano, we want to be like, note, 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 rhythm, 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 tempo, tempo, tempo. But there has to be a point where we kind of have to, like Catherine was saying earlier, just kind of let that go and be like, I'm making music now, because that's really more important. Yeah. The next thing, I really want you to play with the idea of, let me see what I write down here, more fluidity between the notes and the hands, la, la, la. One thing I think would be really cool as you're working through it is the piece is like a rondo, right? So you have this main theme, and then something, pom, 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 pim, pom, 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 and then it goes back to that main theme, right? Yeah. What I want you to think about is every time that we have a transition, making more out of those transitions, so that it's not just, oh, we're going into a section, oh, we're going into a section. So that we come to, where is it? Bum, 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 bum. You know what I mean? And so that each section that we're going to, especially when you have that, where's that changeover? Bum, 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 ba-dum. I'm not looking at the score, so I don't know where it is. Do you know where I am?
Yeah.
Go right before that. Do like 3 measures before that. And what I want you to think about is going into that section, you're setting it up. You're setting us up to hear something new. Yeah?
Okay. So where should I do this on? What is that setup happening? Like
just right before, like I think it's like 2 measures before. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't see, but it's like 2 measures before. It's like the last thing. But what you want to do is that we're going into it, and you can either slow down or play with more emphasis, but just let us know that we're moving into something new.
Oh, okay. So you're talking specifically about moving from the first part to the second part.
Exactly. Okay,
shall we try?
Yes, please. Good. Good, 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 good. Yeah. And did you notice that you just played through that whole thing like it wasn't anything? That whole section gave you trouble the first time and you just went and you knocked it out the window. Yeah? Great. Yeah. The one thing I want to draw your attention to is at the end of that section, right, you have that E to D sharp. I think it's D sharp, right, because we're in A minor, whatever. The E to D sharp, and you do it like 705,000 times, right? So make it interesting for us, that it's not just like, dee, 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 dee. Then we have, yeah, almost like you were singing it. You want to pull it in because, hey, we're coming somewhere, and we're back to our original theme. Yeah?
Yeah.
Start right there for me, just before that. I don't know where's a good place, but like not too far back.
Yeah. So let's go.
Better. Yeah. And so especially with this piece in the score, usually as I've seen it a couple of times, there really aren't a whole lot of markings. So you really have a lot of room to play. Yeah. And because this is, and that's one thing with hard piano, because there's no words, right? So I can't tell you, oh, on this word, play it like this, right? But because we have the music there, you really have a lot of room to stretch out the phrases or to play parts louder, play parts softer. It's really going to be on you and how you're feeling the music inside in here. Yeah.
Usually here I try to, because the first two notes are very fast, and then it's. And then you go back to rhythm 5 times. Yeah. I like slow it, but I also want to dim it down because it becomes softer.
Yeah. No, those are all great ideas. And one thing I think I tell a lot of my students too, don't be afraid to exaggerate. Because there's some times where I have some students that they're like, well, I'm singing this softer. And I'm like, no, you're not. So what you want to do always is exaggerate. And then in the context of your lessons, your teacher will let you know, oh, you know what, that's too much or that's not enough or what have you.
Yes, and especially in the context of practice, exaggerate, because whenever you get ready to perform, nerves might take over and it won't come out in that super drawn out sense. So it'll still be there a little bit if you've practiced doing it really dramatically. So sorry, Alan, I wanted to just throw in my two cents. Also,
absolutely.
we're kind of at time for Fani, unfortunately. So lovely critiques and lovely playing. Yeah, so thank you again, Fani. And that brings us to our final performer this evening, Michael Sparrison, I hope I said your name right, who is sharing with us, I think, a piece from a video game. He'll tell us about it. So as soon as I find Michael, we will get him spotlighted. And he'll introduce himself. Where are you hiding, Michael? There you are.
Yep. All right. Good evening. I'm going to be playing a piece called Champion Cynthia from Pokemon by Go Ichinos. If you want to follow along, I pasted a copy of the sheet music in the chat.
Cool. How thoughtful. Thank you.
Natalia again. Hello, Michael.
Hey.
So it's a very complicated piece.
It is.
It's not even easy to play for a very experienced piano player. So it was a very big challenge, to pick something like this.
Mhm.
But you did a great job, and I see there's a lot of work here. It's very complicated, and I see you memorized pretty much the whole thing.
Yeah, I had the whole thing memorized. It's just like nerves came out.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's normal. And I think this piece, I think many people would make mistake even without nerves. It's like, okay. How long did it take you to kind of, learn it? Like,
So this has been a few months at this point, really getting to hear. I can, like, when I'm practicing by myself, I can play it about dotted quarter equals 130, but I still have a long way to go.
yeah, so it's a very big challenge.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I would pick something, myself. I mean, if I really like, it's actually very beautiful and it's very like dramatic. I like this kind of stuff. So I don't know, maybe your own comments first.
Yeah, so it's funny because there was a couple of passages I was kind of practicing a little bit before coming into it, and then getting into it just couldn't do it. But I think around probably, let's see, like the measure about 17 and on, when it gets really high and I'm going from like 4 to 5 is where it gets hard for me.
It's hard. You mean like distance wise, or like you think it's just too fast? What?
Fingers, like the fingers just don't want to do it.
Okay, so we are talking about the technique, right? To play
Yeah.
like fast. Yeah, so like take like experience to play like fast. And my suggestion, like when students pick something hard like this, you can totally change the speed of that. You don't have to play that as fast as like like original sound, right? Because like this is a crazy fast and complicated piece, like. Yeah. And you don't have to play it exactly like this. Like you can make your own version. It's like nothing wrong with it, right? You can all focusing on accents, right? So it's very kind of like very dramatic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, maybe can you play maybe first like couple, I don't know, like 3 lines and just same but slower speed.
Yeah.
So, like kind of focusing, and I think that accent when you go, it's go in a second, like ta-da, ta-da. I think it's like more interesting when it's like not. I hope makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what we're talking about.
Yeah, so just make it a little bit slower, just first like 2-3 lines, like whenever like logical ending, and just focus, make accent on that, the moments. Let's see how it sounds. Maybe it'll be better.
Okay, so I'm gonna go past the first couple of measures and go where it starts from the repeat. So.
Very good. I think it sounds much better. Like I personally enjoy it more, when it's like more clear, and I would add so reducing speed, and we could add a little bit more dynamic, right? So maybe we add something like growing, and it's kind of like wavy moving, just exactly same piece what you just play, but kind of like add the maybe you're familiar with, right? Like some crescendo.
Yeah, like for me, it sounds like it wants to crescendo as it goes higher and then decrescendo as it goes back down.
Yeah, decrescendo, diminuendo, yeah. So I think here especially, so first you have this wave, ta-ta, ta-ta. So it's like kind of double crescendo. You have a little crescendo in the whole, this, this like wavy movement, ta-ta, ta-ta. And on top of that, you have the major crescendo going. Yeah, makes sense?
Yeah.
Maybe try to like listen, yeah, so let's try to make the more dynamics. Same part what you just played.
Okay.
And same speed. Don't make it too fast. good job. I think so. It's kind of going a little bit up first, right, and then you go down. So right, it's
it starts lower, and it goes up.
Yeah. So I would like to have more drama here. You know, so like make those chords like sound different, like ta ta. Maybe every I don't know, like ta 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 ta, like, and you can play it differently each time. I think it depends on your mood. I think this is good stress reliever. I think I would play it like, okay, I need to.
I mean, this is meant to loop, so I could just keep looping it. Like, you can play as long as I want.
And again, like I think like using wrist, like wrist and wrist will help you, right? It's like really affecting dynamic. So maybe you can even kind of like help with your body, like feel it, you know? So not just like pressing notes, you know notes very well, like you don't have to worry about it, right? So now you can kind of get more like feelings here, right? So show more variety. I know it's from like a video game, so those music usually sound more mechanical, but I think this one kind of like it sounds like it could be like good classical piece, you know.
Yeah, it is
Rachmaninoff or something.
It is actually composed for piano. Like in the game, it is straight up piano, nothing else.
Yeah, so my point, like we want to do everything, avoid mechanical sounding, right? So even though it's from computer games, so it's kind of like okay for that. Yeah, so let's do one more time. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know, maybe start more on piano side, so you have a room to grow, right? So don't make your don't jump into forte like right away, maybe, you know, like
okay.
When you go for forte, the next one you can do a little bit like piano, you know, so we see the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goes from there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So is it like repetitive, right? It's kind of go the whole song. It has like main part. It's pretty much this one, and it repeats. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the song doesn't have an actual ending. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to end it. So
yeah. So definitely, all the repetitive part means that you better play it different. You know, like when you see repetition in music, it's a trap. You need to have to play it differently. There's no way, you know, any composer want you to play it exactly same, you know. Yeah, so I would emphasize again about the wrist, right? I think that maybe I know it's kind of hard. You have very large, you know, chords.
But they're actually pretty close together. Like the hand isn't that far apart.
Well, maybe kind of like start feeling more. So, you know, so we're not playing this. Maybe kind of like I don't know, more flexibility, you know. I know it's usually harder for guys, you know, like my students who are, you know, guys, it's harder, you know, I have to work more, like give them different technical like exercise to make them be more fluent, you know. Usually like girls like easy, you know, they kind of have that thing, and guys are just like want to do the job done. So I even like recommend like, oh, maybe take a couple classes of yoga or something, you know. So it's you know, so it's good to feel, you know, when you feel it, when you feel your body, when you feel your arms, it's also affect the sound, you know. Let's pick maybe one more. It's very actually beautiful piece. I want to hear more of it. To be honest, pick something like maybe close to the ending, something maybe, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So. Yeah, the later half in the part. So
yeah, and try not to rush. I think reducing speed it's a good idea. Like it still sound very good, you know. You don't have to like just mess it all. Okay.
That's
Yeah, very good, very good. I think, yeah, don't play it too fast. Let us enjoy all these beautiful sounds.
Mhm.
And the last question, do you use pedal with this or not?
So most of the song I don't use pedal with it. It would help actually a lot if I had a middle pedal because there's parts where the bottom is like sustained but the top is not.
I'm talking about the right pedal, you know, the
Yeah, so
most common one.
yeah, I don't use right pedal too much in this song.
But do you know how to use it? Like, you're familiar?
Yeah, yeah.
So maybe that part you just play. We tried to use pedal, and you know, just a quick reminder how we use pedal. You just you know, your foot movement is like this, right? On the first beat of each measure. So like da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. So it's and or you can make a decision, like if it's too noisy, you can kind of like, you know, kind of release it, but you need to do it fast. Like you don't keep it off. Try the same part that we just did with a pedal, and to kind of, you know, switch it in each measure.
Okay. I think I'll do it like every half measure, so.
Okay, so did you keep the pedal, you know, working, or you were like releasing it for like long time?
So
Half measure you did?
yeah, I was releasing every half measure, so every 2 beats I was releasing and then reapplying.
But you were releasing and put it back, or you were
releasing and then putting it back.
Yeah. So because you know that you know, because we're doing online, and I know this like electronic piano is not always I can hear exactly what we're doing, but I think it sounds better with the pedal. So so my suggestion to reduce speed, to use pedal and add more dynamics, right? And maybe
great. Yeah, that really elevates it from, I think, atmospheric background music to listening music. So really nice changes you were able to apply there, Michael, and thank you, Natalia, for that coaching. I think this brings us to the end of our program this evening. Thank you all for being with us. I just want to sort of plug in our next event will be a pre-recorded event so that everybody gets the chance to put their best foot forward, no memory lapses, no technical difficulties, and we'll be back to live events in October, probably something around Halloween. So for September, get your performances ready. The form is already up on the website if you'd like to submit your video whenever you're ready. And I hope we'll be able to get together for a live viewing party then once that's all compiled. So thank you so much to each of our performers, and of course to our lovely teachers. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Natalia. And that's all, folks. So thanks again. Good night.
Night.
Good night.